Tonight we have some new information about some of the people arrested in a series of local ICE crackdowns that started back in May. 196 undocumented immigrants were rounded up. Now we know that the only crime 70 of these people are accused of is being in this country illegally. Fox 17 News' Hope Salmon's now live outside the Department of Homeland Security's office in North Nashville with more on those arrests.
ICE officials tell me there's no specific category for these nonviolent arrests, just that people come to the United States illegally or re-enter illegally. ICE confirms making 196 arrests of undocumented immigrants during an early May crackdown. The agency confirms 70 people arrested had civil immigration violations, not criminal charges.
I feel so bad because I'm alone by myself with my 4 children.
Jessica is an immigrant from Peru. She does not feel comfortable going on camera, but shares with me her husband's arrest experience. She says her family migrated from Peru and officers arrested her husband last month for driving without a license.
He had all the paperwork at his house from the attorney, but he did not have anything at the moment.
He's still in jail now waiting for a court date, and she says he will have a social security card and legal paperwork to be in the United States. But Jessica shares she's still scared he will be deported regardless. Luis Sura is the founder of Better Options, an organization designed to help struggling families acclimate, but says the focus now is helping provide legal assistance to those in need like Jessica.
I got a lot of calls about getting their power of attorney letters because they want to make sure their children are safe if they get pulled over by ICE.
Steve Gill, a political analyst, says the overall mission to maintain law and order is being preserved with these operations.
We are seeing huge numbers of those who are, as Trump would call them, bad hombres, taken off the street.
But how about for the ones that aren't dangerous? Are they being profiled to be removed?
That they have violated our illegal immigration laws, but they're also driving illegally, without insurance illegally, working illegally.
The Trump administration announced today that people who enter the United States illegally will not be eligible for a bond hearing. I'm reporting live in Nashville. I'm Hope Salmon, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I'm Christine Frizzau. Tonight, attacks against Border Patrol agents and ICE officers are skyrocketing, the violence playing out across the country. While Trump administration officials blame Democrats, polls show the president losing support on an issue he once dominated. Bullet holes at a Border Patrol facility in McAllen, Texas. The suspect killed in the act. A detention center in Prairieland, Texas targeted as well. Vehicles vandalized and 10 people arrested and charged with attempted murder of federal officers.
It was a planned ambush with the intent to kill ICE corrections officers. Make no mistake, this was not a so-called peaceful protest.
The growing list of attacks, both shocking and part of a widening trend of agents tasked with enforcing immigration law targeted, up nearly 700% from this time last year, according to the Department of Homeland Security.
We certainly call on Democrats to tone down their rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol agents who, again, are everyday men and women.
The White House pointing to comments like this.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
But many of those Democrats say they're reflecting the anger of their constituents, furious at aggressive arrests and worksite raids taking place around the country. On Monday, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass confronted officers at a city park.
It is outrageous and un-American that we have federal armed vehicles in our parks when nothing is going on in the parks.
The issue believed to have propelled Donald Trump to the White House, losing him some support recently. A recent Quinnipiac poll showing 57% of people now disapprove of his handling of immigration, down from 46% in January. Still, law enforcement agencies are sounding alarm bells about the violence, vowing their crackdown on illegal immigrants is just getting started. Both ICE and U.S. Customs and Border Protection have just been given an unprecedented amount of money in the new Big Beautiful Bill passed by Congress. $178 billion for immigration enforcement, which among other things will mean far more agents to make arrests of people and detention facilities to hold them. I'm Christine Frizzau reporting.
Thank you. Law enforcement cracking down on violence and threats against immigration officers and police. In New York, the Justice Department charged Matthew White after they say he made several threats online against ICE agents and even their children. In Portland, Oregon, 4 suspects face charges after prosecutors say they attacked police officers during an Independence Day protest outside the city's ICE office. Agents also arrested 4 others accused of using improvised devices to damage Border Patrol vehicles during immigration enforcement in Los Angeles. And 10 suspects have been charged with attempted murder in the ambush shooting at an ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas, where 1 officer was shot in the neck.
Another arrest made in last week's armed ambush of a Texas ICE facility just outside of Dallas, which led to a local police officer being shot in the neck. Federal investigators now say this man you see here, Daniel Sanchez Estrada, is the husband of one of those alleged attackers. FBI agents arresting him on Monday for tampering with case evidence. They say he was caught on camera, seen here, carrying boxes out of his home to his vehicle, including anti-government propaganda, one of them titled here, Organizing for Attack, Insurrectionary Anarchy. Police also finding handwritten training and planning documents for civil unrest targeting local law enforcement. Now, on July 4th, last week, the 10 suspects wore military-style gear, police say, including tactical vests, some in body armor. Prosecutors adding they launched fireworks at this ICE detention facility just outside of Dallas, luring 2 agents into the parking lot. Then one suspect allegedly fired 20 to 30 rounds from an AR-style 15 rifle from a nearby tree line. All 10 here now charged with attempted murder of a federal officer.
One of El Salvador's most wanted criminals has been captured in Nebraska. ICE arresting the alleged MS-13 kingpin along with an associate in Omaha this week. The kingpin wanted for aggravated homicide of 5 victims, among other crimes. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris joining us. ICE says the Salvadorian national was on the top 100 wanted list. Jeff, what do we know about him so far?
We know his name is Melvin Alejandro Varela Perez, and according to ICE, he's an alleged MS-13 kingpin. Officials say it appears he was in the U.S. for several years and has been wanted by El Salvador for over a decade.
In a bust all caught on camera, ICE officers arresting Varela Perez on the side of the road in Omaha, Nebraska.
Step out of the vehicle. Step out. Get out. Walk back to me. Keep on coming. Keep on coming.
The alleged MS-13 kingpin wanted in connection to multiple crimes, among them aggravated homicide of 5 victims and terrorist ties. Border Czar Tom Homan slamming the Biden administration for lying about properly vetting.
They totally screwed it up, from releasing people from the border for non-vetting to tying ISIS hands.
Agents also arresting Rene Saul Escobar Ochoa, an associate of Perez, who allegedly ordered fellow MS-13 members to carry out multiple crimes, including human trafficking. Mark Zito, who heads ICE's Homeland Security investigations in Kansas City, addressing the bust. They thought they could hide in America's heartland, but they were sadly mistaken. Not on our watch. Meanwhile, 8 members of the 18th Street transnational gang were also taken down during a major police bust in Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's New York district. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz saying the suspects are accused of unleashing terror onto Queens communities through brutal assaults, extortion, fraud, and drug trafficking. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office telling Fox News Digital 7 of the 8 are in the country illegally.
I know that we got at least 600,000 illegal aliens in this country with criminal records.
Now, Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman also taking to X Thursday to voice support for ICE following protests against the agency amid President Trump's immigration crackdown, writing in part right here, any calls to abolish ICE are inappropriate and also outrageous. Reporting for the National News Desk, I'm Jeff Harris.
America's News Now. Breaking this morning, the manhunt for one of the FBI's most wanted suspects now over. Investigators finally captured Benjamin Hanil Song in Dallas, Texas, after he was on the run for 11 days. And thanks for joining us. I'm Jan Jeffcoat. It's Wednesday, July 16th. Authorities have been looking for Hanil Song after the brazen attack at an ICE facility in Texas that left one officer wounded. We want to get right to Angela Brown at the live desk, where, Angela, you also have some breaking developments about border security. First, though, give us the latest on this suspect who is now finally off the streets.
Yeah, we're finding out more about how he was captured. Now, Benjamin Song is sitting in jail this morning after authorities tracked him down at an apartment complex in Dallas. Now, Song and 11 others are accused of launching an ambush-style attack on the Prairieland Detention Center just a few miles outside of Dallas. Song is also a U.S. Army Corps reservist as well. Now, during the attacks, one officer was shot in the neck. He's expected to survive. No other officers or ICE agents were hurt. Now, Song is now facing 3 counts of attempted murder or federal agents. His arrest follows charges against 2 others. You can see their pictures right back here. We're talking about John Thomas and Lynette Sharp, accused of helping him hide after that shooting. They're also accused of helping plan the attack through a Signal group chat. Now, according to Homeland Security, this is just the latest in a wave of attacks on federal agents. They say assaults on ICE agents are up. Look at this number, 830% from last year. And today we are also learning about something that apparently happened at our northern border. Border Patrol says they caught 5 Iranians and 2 people from Uzbekistan after they crossed illegally from Canada into New York. Now, all of them are now waiting to be deported. This is happening as fear is growing about possible Iranian sleeper cells hiding out in the U.S. after the U.S. military crippled several of Iran's nuclear sites last month.